Are you ready to move your career forward? Make your comeback with Purdue Global and get college credit for your work, school, life, or military experiences. With these credits, you may have already completed up to 75% of your undergraduate degree. You've worked hard to get where you are. It's time to get the recognition you deserve and earn a degree you'll be proud of, one that employers will trust and respect. When you take the next step in your life and career, make it count with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
When it comes to family vacations, there are a million different trips you can take. You can get your own trip to Texas. Or if you prefer a vacation from your family, you can always get your own leave the kids with grandma trip to Texas. So go to traveltexas.com/get your own for the only trip to Texas that matters. Yours.
Are you ready for some summertime savings? Score an amazing deal when you buy Consumer Cellular's Z-Max 11 before June 30th. You'll get $20 off this easy-to-use smartphone, making it only $79. Plus, you'll get a free car charger and accessory pack with every purchase, while supplies last. Visit consumercellular.com/great price and enter promo code GREATPRICE to redeem this offer. Act before June 30th. That's consumercellular.com/great price and enter promo code GREATPRICE to redeem this offer.
Hi everyone, I am Amanda Rieger Green. Welcome to Soul Sessions. Today I have a guest on, a listener, Kristen. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Amanda.
It's great to connect. We are talking about intuition, intuitive development. One of the things that I know you were interested in is some of the roadblocks that you run into around your intuition, that you are pretty highly developed and have been working on that the past couple of years, but you've hit some roadblocks. Do you want to share a little bit about how intuition shows up for you in personal and practical ways, and also maybe what roadblocks you're coming up against currently?
Yeah, as you've mentioned, I have been working for the past couple years on really acknowledging and developing my intuition. And one of the areas that I find that I've really developed and honed in is in my professional setting. So I feel like I am able to connect. I go with my gut and I go with my intuition for work that has become second nature. I lean into it instead of fighting it. And that is something I've definitely been developing on, and being able to connect with people emotionally in the business setting compared to analyzing everything, but like using more emotional and intuition based business practices. On the opposite side of the spectrum, I have realized that I struggle more on a personal level following my intuition, specifically in dating. I tend to go against my intuition and kind of fight myself on what I'm feeling. And I think that that is something that I have become aware of, that I am kind of a different person than I am around people that know me and in the professional setting. And I've noticed that, but I'm hitting a block on how to become more developed in that, specifically more in my personal life.
I think what you just shared is totally relatable to me and will be to a lot of people. There are usually areas in which our intuition shows up and we feel more confident in it. We trust our truth, our voice, our higher voice connected with our human voice. And for you, and they show me this, your soul does very clearly, is business is a huge part of your identity. It's a place where you put a lot of your time and energy. You've worked hard, not unlike many people, but you also have found your community and you are comfortable in those scenarios and settings. So when you are in your element, when you are in your voice, you are more clear to receive messages from other people. Whereas personally, interpersonally, specifically in your romantic life or dating, a lot of times the way they're showing it to me is you're more hyper focused on reading the other person's energy or what's going on, and not as focused on being you, being yourself, tapping into you, grounding into your energy. And what's interesting is, because you were saying that you emotionally connect professionally, I think that's so poignant to point out. A lot of people don't find emotional connection professionally as easily. And for you, your emotional intelligence, your clairsentience, your ability to feel, that is not only your gift of reading the room and the energy and knowing how to offer tools, resources, and support, because you're a great facilitator. You're great on your feet. You are a sharp communicator. Information comes to you rapidly. But when you are teaching, when you are speaking, when you are collaborating, you're very much a collaborator. You're in your element. You're in your light. It's kind of like, I danced most of my life. And I can remember, having those nerves when I would go out on stage or out onto the football field or whatever it was. But right when the music would come on and the song would come on, I would be in my light. I would be in that performer mode, but I would also be enjoying myself. And when you're in business, not only do you show up experienced and prepared, you also show up receiving. And you are able to fully express yourself. Whereas in intimate relationships or in dating, so to speak, there is a lot of emphasis put on what does the other person expect? What are they thinking? What do they want from me? Versus how do I show up and be me? Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes complete sense. I definitely feel completely more myself and confident in a professional setting than I do in a dating or interpersonal setting. So, yeah, that completely makes sense.
Well, and this is a year, and they're really showing me this very clearly, where you have some big changes coming up. You have changes in your life, decisions that you're making, but also stepping into some new opportunities, which are going to require you trusting your voice, trusting yourself, leaning into your faith more, your voice, your soul, your higher self, yourself that's connected with God, and also letting go of old ways of being and old fears, or, the imposter syndrome energy that so much of us have when we're leveling up. Does that resonate?
Absolutely. My younger self always said, like, fake it until you make it. And what you just said is like spot on. Like, I feel that really deeply, because I feel like I have made it now, and I need to drop that attitude and shed that attitude and to really grow into my next role. So yeah, that's completely on point.
That makes sense. Look, one of the things too, let's jump back to where you do have your blockage more in intimate conversations, and you love intimate conversations, and there is someone who is showing up in your life in the months ahead, probably within the next 6 months, that I very clearly can see. And he's got dark hair, and he is smart and intelligent, a little bit of a quirky, nerdy genius in a way, someone who wants to go deep with you. You love to go deep in one-on-one conversations. When it comes to your personal life, in your professional role, you're good with people and groups and teamwork, but in your personal life, you really crave intimacy. But there is this, kind of wall that you're putting up because you're extremely sensitive. And I am sensitive. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and you do too. It is very clear. And so there's this fear of, what if they don't love me? What if they don't like me? What if, what if this isn't the right person? What if I don't find the right person? All of those feelings. And it doesn't mean that you're consciously thinking that, but because you're so emotional, the feeling deep down is, oh no, I'm not going to have what I want. The fear of, I'm not going to have a person. I'm not going to find my person. Your person is coming. One of the tips that I would give you in terms of beginning to chisel away at that intuitive development in the intimate scenarios is, first of all, being intentional when you have a date, when you go out on a date, and taking off any expectations of that date, expectation that that's your person, this is who it's going to be, I need to know exactly how it's going to play out, and just connecting with you so you can show up and shine the way you do in scenarios where you feel like you are fully yourself and presenting as yourself. It's really more about you connecting with yourself and your soul, and it will unblock some of your ability to intuitively receive information from someone else. And it'll also be more enjoyable, relaxing, and fun, whether it's your person or not, whether it is practice. Sometimes, we have to practice a little bit because it's also your vibration is shifting. And that's another thing that's coming through very clearly is when our vibration is shifting in our whole being, but also in a certain area of our life. So it's shifting for you professionally in some areas, that's pretty clear. But personally as well, it means we have to practice. You've got to build some muscles, which really are your muscles right now are on your vulnerability and your ability to really be yourself and be comfortable in your own skin. So connecting with your higher self, setting an intention before a date. Hey, soul. Hey, higher self. Connect me with the highest part of me to enjoy myself, to intimately, be present with this other person so I can feel and know if this is a match, if there is something's in sync, or that it was great to meet you. It was great for the cup of coffee or the drink. I hope you do well. See you later. Maybe not.
Yeah. How do I train myself to know when a vibration, or to kind of acknowledge that vibration and shift?
Let me ask you this, because you said you feel things very
Mm-hmm.
deeply. Is there a place in your body where when you are noticing your intuition coming through, that is like a go-to place in your physical body? Where do you physically recognize awareness, presence, intuition in the body?
My hands, I definitely feel like a tingle sensation, kind of like something, or I become very restless with my hands and my feet, honestly, too. I will notice on my right side specifically, I'm moving my leg, almost restless leg syndrome.
Yeah.
And I I keep moving it. I'm like, oh my God, Kristen, stop it.
Listen, the body talks. The body is very
Mm-hmm.
intelligent. It gives us cues all the time that are in sync with our intuition. Sometimes if we're in a dangerous scenario, or
Mm-hmm.
if something exciting is happening, or something is in sync. You know how when we get excited, when we're connecting with someone, you just can feel it. The body kind of
Yeah.
rises, the heart flutters, we get butterflies in the stomach, those sorts of things. But for you, I would start paying attention to what's already developed. So since your intuition comes through more clearly in business settings,
Mm-hmm.
start noticing the sensations in your hands or in your feet or your restless leg, and notice if the meeting is really cohesive or solution oriented, or people's energy seems to feel very in sync, or if it's disharmonious, everybody's scattered and out of whack and not on the same page or argumentative. Notice the energies in your hands, in your legs, in your feet, and see if you can find correlating symptoms and sensory perception. That way you can look at those signs, because I have had that for years, especially when I'm reading with mediumship and with connecting with someone's soul. I have all sorts of analogies that come through, and through the years, I know what those mean. For instance, grandparent energy usually comes through to me in my grandparents' backyard. And then I have a couple of different tells. I'll know, a grandmother, I can feel a being come through, and then I'll be like, okay, who is it? And then they will flash a handful of flashcards in front of my, just in my sensory perception.
Mm-hmm.
But usually if I go to my grandparents' backyard, it means it's a grandparent. And then I have a couple of different tells for grandfather or grandmother. And so I know some of those quick signs and symbols. It can be the same with feelings in the body. Certainly when I'm reading for people, I usually can feel, not always, but a lot of times I can feel how they passed away. If there was a heart condition or a lung condition, of course, I usually can feel that in the chest, or sometimes if there's Alzheimer's or something, a contusion in the head, different things I can feel in my body. And I usually know what that is, the symbol or sign for. So feeling what comes up in your body, and then also being able to translate that into, when you're out on a date. But I think too, and they're showing me this, it's really right now more about you focusing on being you and not so much being concerned about what is the other person thinking, what am I intuiting from them, and you just showing up as you, because the rest usually will fall into place. And also, when it's right, when it clicks, you will feel from them their energy more clearly, and that antenna will be more fine-tuned like it is in business.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
You're ready for a comeback. And with Purdue Global, you can do more than take classes. You can take charge of your story, of your career, of your life. Earn a degree you can be proud of and get an education employers respect. It's time, your time, not just to go back to school, but to come back and move forward with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
Hey, it's Helen. It's summertime, and you don't want to waste it stuck in time-consuming root hair touch-up salon visits. Get Go Gray. Go Gray is focused to meet you at every phase of your gray hair journey, from lightening tough dyes to softening the grow-out, to further removing color and revitalizing hair health, look, and feel. Use the purple toning mask, shampoo, and conditioner to revitalize and maintain your gray. Take the Go Gray hair quiz online to discover what products work for you. Go Gray is available at Walgreens, Walmart, Target, and CVS, and go-gray.com.
Are you a busy entrepreneur or small business owner who wants to ensure your company stays compliant with state regulations? Look no further than Universal Registered Agents, the trusted choice for thousands of businesses nationwide, offering comprehensive corporate services, from registered agent services to new entity formation and document filings. URA has you covered. With our experienced team and state-of-the-art technology, URA guarantees prompt delivery and secure handling of your important documents. With 24/7 portal access to your documents and legal notices, you can stay connected and never worry about missing important information. From startup to established businesses, our transparent and affordable pricing ensures that you receive high-quality services at a fair price. Don't stress over compliance when URA can handle it for you. Contact us today. Visit our website at uragents.com. Universal Registered Agents. Universally different, universally better.
And another thing, I've worked with crystals a long time, and one of the crystals that's coming through very clearly that would be helpful for you right now to work with is moss agate. Moss agate is a stone that is, I call it the grief and growth stone, but it's good for healing. It's good for moving from the heart because it resonates with the heart chakra, but it's an earthy stone, so it's connected with the earth. So root chakra, earth energy, nurturing organic energy, and then it has quartz crystal in it, so it connects with the crown chakra and the higher self. So it helps you move from the heart organically to grow, but also to be more clear and to act or live or speak or be in your heart center. And doing that in work for you comes more naturally because you feel that you're in your element. You are in your element. But in dating and scenarios, that would be a great stone to start working with alongside of another stone called sodalite. It's the orator stone. It's a throat chakra stone. It's not only great for speaking, public speaking, leadership, using your voice in an effective, inspirational way, but it is also a great stone for listening to your inner voice, listening to your inner guidance, your gut, your intuition. So it's wonderful for communication, but a piece of communication is also listening. 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? So those two stones, moss agate and sodalite, would be exceptional to work with.
Okay. Yeah, I love crystals, and I recently, in the past year, have started crystal healing, and
I love that.
It's like been very eye-opening to me, and just like feeling that energy. And it's funny because the first stone that I've ever gravitated to when I started my crystal healing is a moss agate. So like that gives me chills kind of
I
hearing
love
that.
it. And moss agate is kind of an underrated stone.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite stones. It's underrated, but that will help you, like, and they're just feeling more organic in your body, but also connecting your emotional intelligence with your physical senses, feeling, touch. And when you connect your emotions to where it shows up in the body, and you can find the signs and the signals and the symbols that help you, or the sensory perception that helps you decode something or clarify or give you the validation you need, you just build it up like a muscle. The more you practice, the more you focus on it, the more it will grow. And both of those stones are great.
Yeah.
The sodalite, because it's a great throat chakra stone, it's a good one to put on your throat if you were, lying down at night before bed or in meditation. And sometimes I will tell you this, I will put it right on my throat, right above, kind of under the Adam's apple, right above my clavicle, in that little space. But I will also take a crystal if I'm working with the throat chakra like sodalite, and I will put it behind my neck, kind of where my brain stem meets my spine.
Oh, okay.
That's a very active power point for the throat chakra. It's also clearing for the mind, but it activates the whole spinal column. And so I'll put it under my neck versus on my throat, and that's another place to put it. But I work with crystal bracelets often, because that's an easy way to connect with energy. And if you, on my website, you can go to soulsessions.me, and on the resources tab, I've got Amazon links for bracelets, which are best bang for your buck and a great place to start with a multitude of options. But both sodalite and moss agate are on there if you want to get a couple. Working with bracelets for you, I would definitely recommend putting them to start on your right wrist, because the right wrist will pull out energy, and I would wear them for about a month. And then on that right wrist, and it'll pull out that energy of your growth and your clarity and speaking your truth and listening to your truth, trusting your truth. And also it will be faith building. It'll grow your faith and help heal or detox your fear. And then after about a month, and I would always change on a moon cycle, you can either put them on at the first of the month and then switch on the first of the next month, or put them on a new moon and switch at the next new moon. So through a full lunar cycle. And then I would switch it for you to the left wrist after a month, because the left will recalibrate, and after that energy is exuding out, it'll pull back in energy to kind of close the loop, close the electromagnetic circuit, so to speak, and it'll balance your energies more fully.
That's awesome. Those sound like what I need.
Perfect. Good deal. Do you have any other questions or anything that's coming up that you want to ask about?
Yeah, so I have a lot of changes happening every day, and a lot more to come in the next couple months. How do you best, for all of the everyday changes and cycles, how do you feel is the best way to keep me going on on path and still clear and able? Because I know every day has been so emotional for various reasons, either happy emotional or sad and everything in between, and just staying at that even keel, I guess.
And that's a great question, because you are in a growth cycle. And with growth, there's grief. With growth, there's letting go of old aspects and versions of yourself, in order to step into new roles and new opportunities, which you have a lot of shifts and changes coming this year. And next year, you're going to feel more fully you. Next year is a big year of individuality. This year is a year of integrity. It's a year of suiting up, showing up, and then letting go and letting God. One of the best ways, especially because you are so clairsentient, you're very emotional, very feeling, and you feel things deeply, clearing your energy is imperative. But before doing that, processing some of your emotions. So when you feel excited, when you feel hopeful, when something clicks and you're just in amazement, you're in awe, Inhale and exhale the awe, amazement. Inhale and exhale it for 18 to 21 seconds. It takes about 12 to 18 seconds to fully process an emotion. And usually we don't fully process them. They're fleeting and we don't sustain them. And the more that we sustain and ground in emotions, the more we have the opportunity to really express ourselves more fully. So when you get excited or hopeful, holding that space and saying thank you and feeling what it feels like to be in amazement or excitement or enthusiasm. And you can feel it in your body, your spirit. So use your breath. But also when you get irritable or anxious or in doubt or fear, or the imposter syndrome stuff comes up, what if, and the worry, which is tripping into the future. Instead of bypassing that or trying to shove it down, because we do a lot of that, or try to not feel what we're feeling, inhale and exhale the worry, because then you just detox it. You honor what's coming up and you process it out, so you're clearing space. It's like you're tilling a garden. You just inhale and exhale the worry or the doubt or the fear, and you say, thank you that I recognize this. Thank you, soul. Thank you, body. I'm healthfully detoxing it. And clearing your energy, you can certainly do it with sage or Palo Santo. Those are great ways. And then I also love Epsom salt is a good one. And not an Epsom salt bath, but using Epsom salt like a body scrub or a detox after you wash your hair and shave your legs. Grab a handful and just use it like a body scrub and say, I'm cleansing and clearing my energy. Any lower vibrational energies, any fears, worries, doubts, I am giving those to you, God, or I'm giving those to you, Earth, to mulch and to shift. These are no longer mine to process. I am clearing space for my truth, my light, or the emotions that I am intended to hold space for at this time. And for my presence. Those are good ways.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things is beautiful about your energy, because you are you are very in tune with your emotions. You're also a Scorpio. The thing about Scorpio is not afraid to get down and dirty in the deep muck of emotional mire. It will get down there with the envy, the greed, the jealousy, the pain. And a lot of times you all like to learn through that stuff the hard way, which like, if it's not painful, then I don't get to experience the joy. So use that immensity that you have. I know. Use your immensity. Use your depth of emotion and your height of emotion. Use those emotions so they're not coming out sideways, they're not projecting onto other people, or they're not kind of whiplashing back onto you where you're resenting, refeeling. The word resentment literally means to refeel. So this is also a great year for you, and this may not sound directly related to the new opportunities you're stepping into, but it is, where can you practice forgiveness? Where can you practice acceptance? And that will help you with your intuition. That will help you with standing more clearly in your truth and in your integrity. Is it for yourself that you need to forgive? Do you, where is maybe some forgiveness? And it may be not even related to professional. It may be something with a friend or a family member that really needs your recognition or your amends or your attention from your heart space, which that moss agate will help with, and then the sodalite with your voice, because the more that you kind of balance the scales, clear the slate this year, the more doors will open and you will have the courage, the confidence, and the willingness and excitement to walk through them. This is you are in the next 2 years, buckle up, my friend. You're on a roller coaster.
Yeah, I'm honestly, for someone who can communicate well, I'm at a loss for words right now.
And you are a good communicator. It's okay, because you're just feeling and your soul is coming through. So this is a big year, and just being disciplined in continuing and hungry for your spiritual growth, your truth, your self-knowledge, and aligning that with your soul, your higher self, and God. The more that you do that, the more confident and trusting you will feel along your path and the paths that are opening up for you, you will also enjoy yourself more. Because that's the other thing, we forget to enjoy the journey. I love to get to the destination just as much as anyone, but then I forget to stop and look at the amazing wildflowers that are growing on the side of the road. Yeah. So, really that's enjoying yourself. True. Yeah. So. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your insights. I love especially that you shared that you can feel things in your hands and in your legs and in your feet. So the fact that you knew where your body responds intuitively, that's huge. Not a lot of people notice that. So I encourage anyone to get in tune with where intuition connects in your physical body, where the places are that are your body is trying to get your attention to give you a signal. So that's such a great nugget, and I would just continue to develop that more because it will definitely help you going forward. So.
Thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate you, Amanda.
You bet. And good luck. Keep me posted because like I said, there's also love coming through. Like later this year, there is someone who is showing up, and go out on some dates, enjoy yourself, and be you. Show up wholly as you. And that person is going to show up because your vibration is changing. And when our vibration shifts, we attract new people, places, and experiences at a higher vibrational frequency that are more aligned with us into our lives. So keep being diligent in your spiritual growth and your personal growth, and the romantic stuff will follow.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
No one likes to talk about money. Am I saving enough? Can I buy a house? Am I paying too much in taxes? Will I be able to retire? What if you could unlock insights about your finances in less than 5 minutes with a clear picture of where you stand today and where your money can work harder? Now you can. Visit Facet.com to take the free quiz and get your financial wellness score today. That's FACET.com. This ad is sponsored by Facet. Facet Wealth Incorporated is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice.
Finding a good movie can be harder than finding a sitter on date night.
Your kids? Yeah, right.
Prime Video has you covered with the hit movies on Prime like Air and Creed 3. Plus, you can rent or buy the latest new releases like John Wick Chapter 4 in one easy place. Look at that. Now you have more time to watch. Prime Video, the one app to unite them all. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
If you've been scouring the internet for beach vacay savings, this is your sign to stop what you're doing and go to cheapcaribbean.com. Cheap Caribbean updates its top 20 beach deals every week, so you don't have to look high and low for deals on all-inclusive beach resorts in Mexico and the Caribbean. Easily find the deal of your dreams and you'll be on your dream beach vacay before you know it. Check out this week's top 20 beach deals and find more savings and more perks on beach resorts like Breathless Resorts and Spas at cheapcaribbean.com.